Well, the industry, and that is the poultry industry, and all parts of it are discussing, how we can best prepare for any potential future outbreak. And the main concern is, besides the cost to an individual business of losing their birds, which they will get compensation for, when it comes to cleaning up the unit, the so-called secondary cleansing and disinfection, in the UK that can be very expensive and take quite a long time. So we're looking at funding options to see how producers can protect themselves. And those funding options include insurance, and we're really pleased that more and more insurers are coming to the market to provide cover. It's very encouraging. Well, where are we at the moment? We've been discussing this since the Preston outbreak. There was a need for the industry to move forward on that. I think, to be fair to say, the Preston outbreak was really the first time the egg industry has been hit hard by a bird flu outbreak. Not only the poor person on the infected premises, but any premises that was effectively put on standstill as part of a tracing exercise. So we appreciate the urgency there as the Poultry Health and Welfare Group to find a solution, and things are starting to come together, which is great. We've made a proposal to DEFRA which would effectively allow the housing of free-range birds, or in the case of game birds, their separation from wild birds in a wider area than what would be the normal 3-kilometre protection zone and 10-kilometre surveillance zone. And the proposed zone was up to 50 kilometres from the affected premises for a period of no longer than 7 days. And that's really designed to allow the vets and the epidemiologists to ascertain in the early days whether they thought the virus had come in via wild birds, or whether it had come in, for example, perhaps carried in on the bottom of a Wellington boot or something like that. And clearly, if it wasn't wild birds, then those restrictions would be lifted. Where we're at the moment is DEFRA listen, they understand our concerns. We've agreed that further evidence needs to be provided, which would first of all trigger a housing requirement, and equally important, would trigger the exit strategy as well. So that is being progressed as we speak. Well, I think it would be fair to say, it is a major issue for the whole of the poultry industry. Quite clearly, it's the biggest threat we face. The sums of money that have been lost in terms of not being able to export high-value breeding stock or poultry meat, including old hen meat, out of the European Union to many non-EU countries is huge. It's north of £50 million at the moment. So we clearly need to get our country, so-called country-free status, back as soon as possible. And the whole purpose of these roadshows is really to raise awareness amongst our producers and other colleagues operating in the industry. We can stop the disease coming onto farm, keeping biosecurity at the highest level at all times, and also keeping good records and having a proper contingency plan in place just in case the worst happened. At least then people are prepared and they can hopefully continue to operate their business as best they're able to.